Hello, my beautiful and amazing people. Good evening, good evening. How are you doing? It's your girl Rachel K, and we are back with another exciting episode of Ladies with Stories. And we can't wait for you to hear this very amazing episode. We had to bring it back again because we had some issues with that. But in the meantime, kindly drop your comments in the section box. Let me know you are with me. Kindly drop a hello, a hi, so I can say hi to the people in your vicinity. TGIF! Thank God it's Friday, guys. Thank God it's Friday. So kindly drop your comments in the section box. Hi, Mata. How are you doing? Where are you viewing from? Good evening. Thank you for joining. So kindly let people know we are live. Kindly let people know we are live. We are live and we're ready to start. Ladies with Stories is live. Kindly drop your comments in the section box. How are you doing today? Hope you had a great week. It must have been tiring, but at least it's Friday, so you get to have the weekend to rest. So let people know Ladies with Stories is live. Kindly share this video, please, to your people. Let them know we are live, we are live, we are live. We're glad to have you here, Mata. Thank you. So please share this video. Help me to share this, like it, and comment. Let people know we are live. Let people know we are live. And this evening we'll be talking about community, how to build a community, the power of a community. And Mother Emi Johnson is right here in the studio to take us through this journey. And I promise you, you won't regret it here. So kindly drop a comment in the section box. Let's know you are here. Let's say hello to the people. How are the people in Sabo doing today, Mata? I hope they are all doing very well. All right, all right. Get your friends to come online. Get your friends to join. We are live at Laura's this beautiful evening. So get your friends in, get your friends. Madam Emi Johnson is around and she's ready to take us on this amazing evening ride before we call it a night. So get your friends. Let's learn something new today. Let's learn something new. Learn something new. Let's learn something new. Let's learn something new. It's a new evening. So, hi, Joanne. Good to have you this evening. How are you doing? So get your friends in. Let's talk about the power of community. Have you been enjoying the last few episodes we've had? We've had talk on worries, we've had talk on general anxiety disorder, and today we're talking about the power of community, all aiming at something inspiring and empowering you to succeed. Let's all be knowledgeable in all areas of life. So let your friends know we are live before we bring our guest up this evening. Just for those joining us for the first time, Ladies with Stories is a platform where we inspire and empower women to succeed. We do this through sharing of true life stories or experiences here at Laws every Friday. And we also have our Wednesday Woman where we appreciate amazing and hardworking women. We also have our conferences where we organize once in a year just to celebrate young girls and empower them with the right tools to succeed in life. So we are going to bring our guests pretty soon. So just let people know in the next 1 minute we'll bring our guests. Let your friends know we are live and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. So get them here. Get them here. If you're ready, just drop a one in the comment section. If you're ready, drop a one. Let's get started. Just drop a one. Hi, Mima. How are you doing? Good evening. Good to have you here. So if you're ready, drop a one. Let's get started. Drop a one. Drop a one. Thank you, JK. Drop a one. Let's get started, guys. Yes, let's keep the ones coming. Let's keep the ones coming. So we'll bring up our guest. Just give us some few seconds and we're bringing her in. Some few seconds and we're bringing our guest in this evening. I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. Are you ready? It's going to be an interesting evening, so let's get started. Yes, we have our ones, and we are ready to bring up our guest this beautiful evening. I'm sure you must have read her biography. Madam Emi Johnson is a definition of community. And of course, we want to learn from community herself this evening. So please, with a round of applause, with a big smile, let's welcome our guest this evening, Madam Emi Johnson. Woo! Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing today? Hope you're fine. Thank you for coming back on the show. We're so sorry the last episode, the video got corrupted, so our guests and our audiences were not able to see through that video. But we are so glad you accepted to come back again and to share better this time around on the power of community. Thank you so much, ma. We are honored to have you again. Okay, so I'm not sure I'm hearing you properly, but just let me confirm from the people here. If you can hear her,
Thank you
please
very much,
just
Rachel.
notify if you can hear her, but I can hear her from here.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you for inviting me again. Thank you for the platform. And good evening, everyone. Feels good to be here again.
Good evening, Matt. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about the power of community, which is basically what you spoke to us about the last time. But this time around, we'll just be asking some few questions related to the community part of it. But before we get started, who is Emi Johnson? If you can just help our guests with that. I know we've put up your biography, but some want to hear it from your mouth. Who are you?
Okay, my name is Emi Johnson, and you could call me Emmy or Emma. I am an industrial chemist. I I do a lot of volunteer work in the climate and tech space, and I also love working with women and young girls, and also with the youth. I have passion for helping people, discover and develop and actually maximize their potentials, because I believe that everybody has potential with the right environment and mentoring. Everybody could optimize their skills and their purpose for being, you know, here on earth. I love to motivate people because I'm someone that's intrinsically motivated. I can be at rock bottom, and within a few days or hours, I could get myself up again. It's something that comes from the inside. And since I know I have this ability, I also use it to motivate other people, people that are
Okay, I think the internet is broken there. So if we can just please wait for Madam Emi Johnson. While we're waiting for her, kindly share this video, kindly like the video, kindly tell a friend we are live. Let's get our friends right here to, learn with us what we are learning. So let your friends know we are here. Let your community members know we are live. So get them to join us, get them to join us. We'll just wait for Madam Emi's connection to, to get back, and if you can hear her, please kindly comment in the section box. Let's know that we can hear her all together, okay? Okay, so she's out. We'll get her back in again. Let's just try to see how we can bring her back on. We'll get her back. Just hold on there with us. Kindly share this video. Let people know we are live and we're learning on the power of community. So while we wait on Madam Emi, what do you think a community is? What do you think a community is? You can drop your comments in the section box with what you think a community is. There's no wrong answer, and there's always a good answer. So there is no wrong, but there is a good answer. So kindly drop your comments Let us know what you think a community is while we wait on Madam Emi Johnson, okay? We'll try to get her back. We'll try to get her back in the studio. Okay. Who is dropping what they think a community is? What do you think a community is? Is it a community? What do you think a community is? It's a gathering of people sharing ideas, similar ideas, wanting to grow, you know? So what do you think a community is in your own perspective? There is no right, there is no wrong. No, there is right, but there is no wrong answer. So what is a community? I think that a community is a group of persons that share common interests. Absolutely, common interests. Yep, that should be the word, common interest. So there are different communities with different interests. You know what, like interests as well. With different interests. So a community must have an interest. They must have a shared or similar interest. For you to belong to a community, it must be something you are attracted to. So community, share a group of persons with common interests. Absolutely right. So you cannot be in a community with different interests. That's not a community. The interest must, must be common, must be similar, must be alike, must be, what something must drive you there. So a community is a group of individuals who share common interests, goals, or geographical proximity and interact with one another, forming social connections and engaging in various activities. Exactly the same thing we're saying again. It must be shared, similar, common. There must be a clear goal. There must be a clear reason for that community. Let's just say, like Ladies with Stories, it's a community. And our goal here is to empower women to succeed. And there are also people that have joined this community because they share the same values and belief with us. So Madam Emi Johnson is back. Let's get back to her.
Yes, sorry about that. That was a glitch.
It's fine. It's fine. We know how it can be. It's okay.
Yeah. So basically that's it. I do a lot of volunteer work. I love to work with women and young girls. I love to do work in the tech space and in the climate space. And I love to support people and motivate people from my boundless energy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It's good to know that indeed you're a community yourself, like I said earlier. So we are not wrong to bring you right here. And we just want to go straight into today's discussion, the power of community. So, what is a community and what power does a community have? And how do they achieve goals? And how can we, penetrate into communities? I'm just asking all the question at once. So when you're talking, just please feel free. Go ahead and speak.
For me, a community is your tribe. And when I say community is your tribe, yes, community is your tribe apart from your tribe of where you come from by birth or geographically. Community is where you have your support system. Community is where you draw strength from. Community is where you get motivation from. Community is where you receive inspiration from. Community is that one place that you find leverage for your plans, for your purpose, for your aspirations. To me, that's what community means.
Go ahead, Ma. We can hear you.
Yes. I said community is your tribe. Community is that place where you draw strength from. Community is where you get motivation. Community is where you get levels to
Absolutely.
achieve your goals. Community is where you network. Community is where you gain knowledge from. So that's what community means to me. And these are the ways that community has impacted my journey in the different aspects of my life. So I really believe in community, the power of community.
Okay, so what is the power of that community? What power does that bond or those things you have said? It's a tribe, it's a leverage, it's an encouragement platform. What is the power? Is there a power in that thing called community, or is it just a name for being a namesake? Like, okay, community, community, but is there a power there? Is the power we're going to find out? Does that power,
Yes,
what does that power elevate you to, or does it take you up, or does it bring you down?
there's a lot of power in community, and that power takes you up. It definitely takes you up. Well, it might not be for everybody because I have been in communities where I got a lot of knowledge, a lot of resources, but there are people that didn't understand the power of that community. And I think why it happens that way is because when some people get into some communities, the first thing they want to do is, what can I grab out of this community? If you understand the power of community, it's like what the Southern Africans call the power of Ubuntu, one for all. If I succeed, you succeed, we succeed together. But some
Yeah.
people get into communities with very, selfish aims. They just want to get everything, the good in that community only for themselves. They're not thinking about what they can give back to that community. But if you enter a community with the power of, this community will bless me, and I would also bless the members of this community. You're going to gain a lot from such a community. But for me, all my communities have always elevated me. They've always been, elevation platforms. I gain knowledge, I make connections, I network, I receive knowledge, I get resources, I make friends that even transcend the community, people that I can get to connect with, even, offline. So to me, the impact of community is enormous. It's an elevation. It's an elevation platform.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. So how did your journey start into community? How did you start this journey of yours?
Okay, my journey into communities started from my volunteering work. That was the very first time I got to, somebody introduced me to someone, and I was asked to be a part of a community on WhatsApp, and I joined. And from that community, I got to meet so many people. We got to talk, and they knew what I was into. And they said, oh, if this is what you do, you should also be interested in this. And they linked me to another community. And from that
Wow.
community, I got linked into another community. And it just kept, doors just kept opening up. That was how I started from my first community, from volunteering work. That's how I got into all the communities that I'm a part of right now.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. So do you think people don't really take advantage of community right here in Africa, or how do you think we can embrace the power of community in our everyday life? How do we know which community to join? How do we identify the communities?
Okay, first of all, these communities, like I mentioned, how I got into mine had to do with volunteering. And maybe that's going to be a talk for another day. But in this climes, volunteering is, we are not big on volunteering in Africa and even in Nigeria. People are always like, you want me to join this volunteering group or volunteering community? Is it paid volunteering? What am I going to get from it? Right now, I need a job. Are they going to help me get a job? People are always thinking of what they can gain. So if you want to really benefit from the power of communities, put yourself out for volunteering, put yourself out for service. I tell you, there's a way these things connect themselves. I didn't plan for all the beautiful doors that opened for me. I was just out there. Oh, this is what you do in this community. I want to be a part of it. You're volunteering to go speak to young people in public primary schools and public secondary schools. What are you possibly planning to get out of it? People in public schools, you see all kinds of people that are like, below the budget line there. So what can you get from them? It's about giving to them. But from making myself part of that, so many doors began to open, for me. So you need to, Nigerians especially, and maybe Africans, we need to imbibe that spirit of volunteering. Once you put yourself out there for service, to serve people, to give back to people, to share knowledge with people, your own doors will just automatically begin to open up for you. And you'll be shocked at all, the blessings and opportunities that will come with it.
Okay, amazing. Here we believe in the power of stories. So if you can please share with us a story of how one of your voluntary activities has opened doors for you. It could be within Nigeria or outside Nigeria, because on your biography here it says you're well traveled, you volunteer within and outside. So if you can just please tell us a story of how this happened so we can know, we connect more by stories here.
Okay. So when I started volunteering, I, in the volunteering space in those communities, uh, people understand, the community managers understand that people are giving of their time, of their resources to be part of the work that they are doing. And so they try to make everybody get something. And usually a lot of resource and materials get to flow in those communities. And I got my hands on one of such resources. It was a link actually for the Cherie Blair Foundation, and I applied. The Cherie Blair Foundation for Women in Business is a mentoring platform where mentees from all around the world get to be matched with a mentor from anywhere around the world. So I applied and I got accepted into the fellowship, and I was matched with a mentor that lives in the US. This is a program that lasted for 12 months. It was a 12 months of, eye opening, knowledge gaining. It was awesome because I had to meet with someone from the other side of the globe. We had cultural differences, we had time zone differences, but we're able to work this thing out and have a very effective and impactful mentoring relationship. The mentoring program ended last month, but it was amazing that Susan, my mentor, had asked me that she wanted to continue with the relationship even after that, mentoring program. I also had another opportunity called the African Leadership Youth Hub. It's an organization that currently is in 9 countries in Africa, and I happen to be the Nigerian coordinator. I also got into that platform from volunteering. And a lot is happening in that platform because there are a lot of opportunities that are opening up for us, for the active members on the community. From my volunteering work, I began to transit into the tech space. The first time I was volunteering with an organization called AWEP, African Women Entrepreneurship Program. Incidentally, I am now the Kaduna State Coordinator for AWEP, and there's this training rather that AWEP handles with Google for its women in business. It's the Google IT specialist support program. It's a certification program. I got into that program, and it's a program that lasted for about 8 months. It was my first experience with tech. In fact, today, when I tell people that have been in tech for so many years that I have a certification in Google IT support, they're like, "You got to finish that program." I said, "Yes, I finished. I completed it successfully. It was choking, but I did it." But after I scaled that first hurdle, I got to see that, wow, tech, I can do this. I really do not need to have a statistic background or a computer science background or a software engineering background. And that was how my tech journey got started. I was able to get into so many other programs and all on scholarship. Every program I've ever done, every certification I've ever gotten, it's been on scholarship. And if I
Wow.
wasn't in any of those communities, you need to know the equivalent of how much you need to pay if you go to their site to apply as an individual. But because I was part of communities, and Google had this a program they were running with the African Women Entrepreneurship Program, that they could give scholarship for training on so many learning tracks to the women that belonged to that community. And I was in that community, and that's how I got that training. I got so many other scholarships for web design, for data science, learning, artificial intelligence. I got a scholarship for the UNDP. From the UNDP, I did marketing management from Clark Atlanta University. I've done a program from University of Washington on project management. I completed another program this year, monitoring and evaluation, from the University of Washington, all on scholarships. And this came from the communities that I belonged to. That's the power of leverage. I leveraged those communities and they provided those scholarship platforms for me. So this is my story of how community has impacted my life journey to where I am
Wow.
today.
Wow. That is amazing. All that on scholarship. The prices for
All of
those
it.
courses are really high, really, really high. I know that because I've checked on some. And to think you got that all on scholarship, it's amazing. So indeed, there is a power of community. Just, how do you think we can integrate this mindset in the young people? How do they go about looking for these communities? Because sometimes people do search for these things, but they don't see it. So how do they go about it?
Um, if you actively want to get involved in volunteering, definitely these opportunities would show up if you really want to get involved in volunteering. And so many volunteering work that we do these days, there are a lot of them that are virtual. Even though the Nigerian groups that I volunteer with, we go out for physical outreaches, we go out for sensitization programs, we go out for advocacy. I do a lot of those physical things, but there are also other communities that are virtual, where everybody gets to interact virtually, you gain knowledge virtually. If there are tasks to be carried out, they assign those tasks to you virtually, and you also respond virtually. Look around your community, ask people that are involved in this work already. You need to be intentional about it. Sometimes these things will not always come to you. You need to go out and seek. You understand, you need to go out and seek and say, okay, I really want to do this. This is what I want to do. How do I get to do it? You would meet someone, either physically or online, that will get to show you the way. Oh, I belong to this volunteering group. Come and be a part of it. I'll get the link and I'll send the link to you. And before you know it, once you get into one, you just need to get into one and you are good to go. I tell you, you just need to get into one and all the doors will just begin to open up for you. But you need to put out yourself to serve humanity, to serve people, and all the good things that come with it will come flowing to you.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Ma. So just, to ask again, is it that when people just see any kind of opportunity to volunteer, is that what they just go for? Or do they just look for something that excites them or something that aligns with their goals and perspectives?
Yes, looking for something that aligns with your goals and perspective makes a lot of sense. It will be easier that way for you to contribute in the community. Because there are people that go into communities, I'm sure we all see that, and they are just inactive. They don't comment on anything. They don't let people know they have certain skills that they can use, to better the community. They just sit in the community. So probably because maybe what's going on in the community is not something that they can relate with, or something that touches a nerve in them. So it makes a lot of sense that you get, like, if there's a community where women are working to end sexual violence amongst women, and this is something that resonates with you, it will make a whole lot of sense for you to join that community. If you're somebody that believes in conservation of the environment, and you have the opportunity to join a community that's doing work in planting trees, in being a part of doing any kind of work that's related to conserving the environment, it will make sense for you to join that community. But I think the first time I joined the community, I didn't even see it in this aspect you're bringing out now. I just wanted to serve. And it was after I had joined the first community that I began to know that, yes, there are certain areas that I really have interest for. And then I began to really look out for certain communities that I could be a part of, people that are doing work for women and girls, communities that are working for the youth, communities that are working for the conservation of the environment, communities that are promoting women in tech. All those areas began to open up, and I began to get into these specific areas. But when I started my volunteering, I actually didn't look out for any specific area. I just wanted to get in there. Oh, this is a volunteer group. What are you guys doing? Oh, I want to serve. I want to be a part of it. And I got into, that community before I began to really look out for specific communities where I could do specific work.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. This is so interesting. I was actually going to ask a question, but while you were speaking, you sort of answered. I'm like, how, when you join a community, how do you make yourself stand out? How do, because they're joining a community, you have about 3,000, 5,000 people in a very large community. So how do they even know it is you? Because the whole aim here is, to be standing out in every community you join, to be when it's oh, where is Rachel, where is Emma, where is this, they know you are there. So you made mention of it, they're like, okay, you need to speak out, you need to do that, but just maybe you have more to say on that aspect. How do you stand out in the community?
Yes, for many of the communities that I am a part of, they usually have sub communities, and they will put links there. Even when you're filling out the data form, maybe like a Google form or a Microsoft form, there are fields where you're asked to mention your areas of expertise. They ask for that information because they want to use the data sets to be able to analyze information. They could go to the data set and say, okay, we want to know all the people that are content creators in this community. Most communities will ask you to fill, a form to join. And most times it comes in the form of a Google form. And by filling such a form, you're already providing information for the community managers to use to analyze, for analysis generally. So some will ask you which part of the world, which country. If it's a Nigerian community, they will ask you which state. They'll ask you your level of education. They'll ask you your areas of expertise. They will even ask you which areas you're interested in working in serving in the community. A content creation, a leadership, philanthropy, so many areas. So when you put in this information, anytime they need a certain thing, they might just go back to the database and check out this information, and they would even reach you privately. That's number one. And in some other communities, they'll put links out in the main group containing all the sub committees that they have, whether administration, tech, graphics, leadership. They'll put it out and say, any of the groups or subgroup that you want to be a part of, just click this link and you find yourself in another subgroup. And those subgroups, you now become a part of a more specific group. Like you said, 3,000 people in a community, that's really huge. So by the time you join this groups, you find yourself like maybe 80, like maybe 200 or 100 and something. Is smaller, and everybody in that group is expected to have like expertise in a certain area. So it's now easier to connect at that level, whether you're all content creators, your graphic designers, your website designers. It's easier to connect at that level. And so once anything needs to be done, whether it is training or a task that needs to be carried out. Maybe they want to go out for an outreach and they need people that can help to design banners. They just know that they will go to the graphic designing subgroup or subcommittee and tell them, we have a task. Okay, we need to design a banner for this outreach we're going for. These are the raw materials that you need in content and videos and images. Help us, create a banner in this area. And that a subgroup or subcommittee will just handle it. You have volunteered, because by doing that one, nobody's going to pay you. You've contributed to that outreach that that particular community is going to have. Whether you're going to be physically present or you're not going to be physically present. So it's very easy to find your way in any community. There are always subgroups, and you find your way in that subgroup and show what you can do and contribute positively.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma. Just to wrap this up, I just want to ask, community deserves, if you're going there for service, that means you have to give almost your 100% into service. So how are you able to blend service and personal life together?
Okay, for volunteering work, the outreaches or advocacy programs do not happen all the time. Community managers understand that volunteering or community work is, for many people, is a part-time thing, that people have other lives that they are juggling alongside that. Either you're in paid employment, or you have your own business that you're running. So these tasks do not happen like every day, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, like your normal job will demand of you. Sometimes they put programs for weekends. Sometimes they have projects to handle once in a quarter, or once in 2 months, or once in a month. So you just build your schedule around that period so that you can free up your calendar to be a part of what that community stands for. That's how I handle mine, and I handle it very well. Okay, let me give you an instance. There's a community I belong to that carries out advocacy work against sexual abuse for young children and women and girls. I report to work at 8 a.m., between 8 a.m. and 8:30, my normal, 9 to 5. And when we fix our advocacy programs and sensitization programs, we go to public schools and public secondary schools. The assembly period, when the pupils or students get to meet at the assemblies, between 7 a.m. and 7:30. I would leave home by 6:45 if it's not very far from my neighborhood. By 7 o'clock, we are already in the school. The principal comes, the teachers arrive, and the assembly is set up. The principal would address the students for like 10, 15 minutes. And after that, they'll give us the podium to come up and address the students. We use the next 15 minutes to address the students. And by 7:30, we are done. And the students go into their classes, and all of us we're already set for work. We just go to work. So I'll finish volunteering advocacy work between 7 and 7:30, and by 8 o'clock, I'm in the office, still making it on time for my normal job. So there's a way this volunteering work is usually planned that really doesn't get to interfere with your normal job, and you just build it around your calendar, make yourself available. I'll wear my t-shirt, my volunteer t-shirt, finish by 7:30, change to my work dress again, and I'm off to work, and I'm in the office by 8 or before 8, and nobody would even know I'd done volunteer work that morning.
Wow. Wow. That's a whole lot of sacrifices into a community. Thank you so much, Ma. It's been an amazing evening, learning and trying to open our minds that being in a community is not all about what you receive, but also what you give. There are many reasons why people wonder, oh, should I be in the community? What are they going to give me? What will I benefit? If it's not monetary, if it's not travels, they don't do that. But not saying that community don't give you those things. They give you, but sometimes you need to serve so people can see your seriousness into the community before they are able to invest in you. And I'm sure that was what you did. So we are so, so grateful for having you again on the show. and I'm sure this time around the video is not going to cut, it's not going to be corrupted, it's going to be right here on Ladies with Stories, and every other person going to watch this after this live show will be inspired. Just to wrap it up, do you have any advice for young girls out there in terms of being a part of a community, what they stand to benefit from being in a community?
Okay, my last word on this would be put yourself out there. For young girls and women, we are used to hiding ourselves. And hiding yourself means you're hiding your skill sets, you're hiding your talents, and you're hiding your potentials. Until you put yourself out there and get into this community, you won't even really know the full potentials that you have, what you're really capable of doing until you actually start doing, until you actually start using these skills and talents. So please don't be shy, don't be intimidated. Get out there, put yourself out there, and let the world know that you're capable. Don't let society define you.
Absolutely. Don't let the society define you. Get in there, put in the work, make yourself proud, and volunteer with people. So, are there like links? I said last question, right? Don't mind me again. Are there like links to join this community? How do people access those communities? Do you have help for people that want to belong in those community of women? Because we're a women organization. I'm sure the young girls here want to volunteer in anything related to young ladies, growing themselves personally. Is there any way we can get those links?
Yes, yes, there are links, but for some of the communities, you would have been either through a training or done something, and then they get to now add you to the
Ah,
community. Like for my women textile communities, is because I completed a certain tech course, and then they'll add you all to a community for a tech women. So some of the communities you just can't get it, because if I drop a link now for women textiles, you come into that community and you'll be completely lost. People will be talking about DevOps. People will be talking about front end developers and back end developer. They'll be talking about programming languages, coding, Python, and SQL, R, React, and you'll be wondering, what am I doing here? How did I get here in the first place? So some of those communities, you get into them by fulfilling a condition or a prerequisite. But there are other communities that are just like free to join. For those ones, the links can be given to anybody. And I have some of them. So I think Rachel, we will get in touch after this, and I'll drop some of those links
okay,
to
I
you
will
so
be
that
so
you can share
grateful.
with your other communities.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate this. And we will share the link, and our girls will join and they'll give their best to it. Just to ask if anyone has a question for Madam Emi. Okay, I think we've answered that for Chinonso. You need to do some trainings, and some they will give us the link. Okay, someone said some time ago I indicated interest in being part of some communities as a volunteer, but I was asked to pay before I become part of it. The highest the highest amount requested was 5K, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't join. Is it normal to pay before you volunteer for a community?
No, 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 I've never had to pay. I've never had to pay to be part of a community. I mean, you're going to give your time, like you're the one buying your data, subscribing for your data. It's your money. So I think any genuine community should feel honored to have you want to come in and volunteer your time and your expertise to serve that community. I've never had to pay to be part of any community. I don't know where that is coming from. I've never had to pay.
Okay, so Madam Emi said she hasn't heard of it, but then it depends again on the content of which this volunteerism is all about. Because just like you said, there are specific trainings you must do. to be a part of some community. So it could be that there was a training that needed that 5,000 before joining you in the community. But if it's just to
Okay.
volunteer, she said she has no idea. So you need to check it out. Was it a training you were attending, and then after which you become a volunteer, or what was the 5,000 naira for there? There was a price for it. So what was the price for? Is there any other question before we tell Madam Emi good night? Okay, I think we do not have any question. So I would say thank you so much, Ma, for coming on the show again. We are so grateful to have you. And we look forward to having you some other time to share with us your journey, how it has moved from this level that you are in to the next phase. Because the next time we'll meet you, you'll be in the next phase. So we look forward to that next phase of your career. And this is us saying thank you so much and wish you all the best in your journey. Don't forget to pull us along when you're going. We are ready to volunteer in your own organization and in the organizations you're serving. As service is our key priority here, so we're ready to serve and to learn also. Thank you so much, Ma. We are grateful.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you to all the
All right, thank
ladies
you. Do have a good
volunteering.
night's rest.
I really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for
Bye.
joining tonight's episode with Madam Emi Johnson. It's been an amazing time learning about the power of community. It takes a lot of people to, share the same similar idea to have a community. A lot could be 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, but you need to be a part of a community, a part of a shared interest, a part of a common goal, somewhere you feel belonged or somewhere you feel you can identify yourself with. So if you're an engineer, there's a community for engineers. If you're an architect, there's a community for architects. If you're a woman, if you're into women things, there are communities for women. If you're a doctor, there are communities for doctors. There are different types of communities that you can get yourself involved. And don't forget, Madam Emi said, the key to being a part of a community is service. So when you're going to join a community, go there with the intention of, I am going to serve. I am going there to serve. And in the course of your service, you get rewarded. But don't go with the mindset of you're going for reward. The moment you go for reward, you might just get frustrated because not most, not all organizations do give you reward just at the beginning of joining your service. No, you must serve and then you get rewarded. So when you're going, go with the intention of service. And don't forget, a community is a place for leverage to other opportunities. It's a link. From one community, you're linked to another community, to another community, to another opportunity, and opportunity, and opportunity. And why should you be a part of a community? You should be a part of a community so you can give value. You are valuable and you have something that that community needs. So when you go to be a part of a community, go with the intention of, I am going to serve this community. I'm going to impact this community with what I have. They don't even have to ask me, bring this to the table. I am going to bring my A game to the table. I'm going to make things for them happen. That is service. So you are valuable and you should be a part of a community so you can give those values back to the community. And from there, you never can tell. You'll just be flying and flying and flying all around the globe, just like Madam Emi, getting opportunities for scholarships, all from service. So when you're part of a community, ensure you're communicating, ensure they know, ensure push yourself, let them know you. Let them know you. Let them know you. Do what you need to do for you to be noticed. So push yourself to be known. Give your best and ensure that everything you are doing is in accordance with the rules of the community. So you must ensure you read through the rules, the principles, what is guiding this community before joining. And when you join the community, you abide by those rules. But don't forget that is a platform for you to give your best, to give your 100, to give everything you have. Go with a service mentality and you will get rewarded at the end of it. Your reward shouldn't be looking for, oh, it might be money, it might not be money. It might not be money, my dear. It can be better things than money. There are better opportunities than money. So go with the intention of service. And I hope we have been inspired this evening Yes, community engagement is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. It is so rewarding. And thank you to our community members. This is a community. The Ladies with Stories platform is a community, and we have had lots of people. Madam Emmy came. We've had people coming to inspire us in this community. We've had you that you're watching right now. You are very vital to this community. If you don't come online, there is no way we'll be speaking. We'll just be speaking to air. So you are vital to this community. And I am so grateful to everyone and anyone that has believed in the platform so far. This is me saying thank you so much. And next week, we'll be bringing you another inspiring episode on Ladies with Stories, guys. Thank you, Madam Emmy. Good to have your face back. This is also saying good night again and again. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye
Bye.
bye.